controller settings on the PS4, maybe PS5, your HUD settings. If you're curious about those, stick with me because I'm about to show you a little bit. This is Mystic with Mystic Shepherd Gaming saying hello my wolf pack and welcome to my video. Here you are logging in the configuration where you saw the little pointer finger, and this is system configuration. You can actually find it inside the game, but you can also do this, I wanted to show you, as you're logging in. This is only part of it. I mean, like if you want to change like the HUD in its entirety, you know, without changing individual components, then you can do it here. I'm also showing you the controller settings. This is where you can see what the controller settings are, but you can also change those. But I'd be very, very careful if I were you. But one of the points that I'm going to make on and off throughout this entire video is if you look down at the bottom left-hand side of that screen that I am on, it says default. Anything you do, don't worry. You can always set it back to the default settings as long as you remember the changes that you've made, and you can go back and make, you know, better changes, you know, that you made prior to what you're trying to do here. Okay, never worry in this game really when you're doing something like this, your HUD settings, your system settings, your character settings, you can always go back to default settings. Now when I say never worry, I'm most definitely not talking about, you know, don't delete gear, don't delete, you know, when you're deleting things, well, that's permanent. If you delete your character, you only get one lifetime, not your character's lifetime, because that doesn't count, right? They get knocked out, they don't die. In your lifetime of paying your subscription for this game, you'll only get one time that you can retrieve your character. Remember that. So, but in the HUD settings, you can see, I went to you know, you press options, you go over to character configuration. This is some basic HUD settings here. I always keep it at the default because I like that it goes tank, healer, and then the DPSs, especially because I heal, so that kind of puts me in the middle. I can press up on the D-pad or down on the D-pad depending on how quickly I need to get to somebody. Or you can go left and right and try and click on the person versus use your party settings. Alright, so here's the HUD layout. I am showing you, I showed you how to get in. And there's, again, nothing here that you change that would be permanent, that you'd be like, man, I am stuck with this forever. Nope, you're not. You can go in and tweak for each individual class or job, whichever you would like to call it. Basically, there are classes or jobs, and they're called both, I think, in different ways in this game. So, and you can change it for each one, you know. I'm pretty sure you can. Now I might be lying. Anyway, you can change the, no, you can, because you need to change where geez, I can't even think now. Yes, you can, anyway. You can change it for each one. There's certain things that you can change for each job or class. Anyway, now I'm showing you here, you can change even what you're using to change things, you know. I'm pressing the R3 button. Play around, that's the thing. You know, when I say that you will not, unless you hit save, and even then you can go back in and hit defaults, you know, and you're back to square one. Whether you were at square 10, 50, you'll be back at square one. That is the downside. If you've made tweaks and changes prior to this, if you screw up and you hit default, then you're back to total square one. But it's better than being stuck with something you hate, correct? So, I'm showing you here, you know, you can press 1, 2, 3, 4. There's different, you know, and I'll be 100% honest, I don't know what the 1, 2, 3, 4 is for. I just go in and I change these particular you know, settings that are available in. Seeing, you could still see I pressed it. It's like, well, I have no clue what that is, but okay, you know, I'm showing you, at least you can go into that. So anything that I want to change in my HUD is right there. I've never had reason or knowledge to go into 2, 3, and 4. You've got your focus target bar, you've got your progress bar, you've got your experience bar. I mean, like, everything that you see on your screen can be moved. It can be enlarged, it can be made smaller. And also there are key things, like I realized that 2 things, that I keep recording my Final Fantasy videos for some reason at night in Final Fantasy during, the evening of, in game. So I'm going to start going inside, and try and be more conscious of that. But the other thing I noticed is my journal, there's certain things that I can remove from the screen when I am recording videos. So I will do that from here on out. And, but also, you can move those things. I don't know that I'm even going to show you moving the journal parts or whatever, but I mean, like I said, every single thing on this screen, you can see the tiny little, squares, and they each have a name, and those names are in that scroll down menu. The current UI element, you'll see that. Notices, mini map, main menu, your guild. I mean, it's all there. Even like your chat menu, I'm pretty sure you can move and enlarge, individually. And then the text, of course, will be larger. Like, let's say you have like a ginormous TV, and yes, I know that's not a word, but I use it. You have a ginormous TV, and you can barely see your chat, but you don't want everything else to get bigger. Well, this is where you would go in and you would enlarge that, and then you can see better, because in this game, there is no voice chat. Of course, you could join a Discord server, a free company that has a Discord server, or we, being me, and those of you who are watching this, the majority of you who play on the PlayStation, and that's why you're watching a controller type setting. Unless you're a PC player and you want to use a controller, more power to you. I think it's awesome. I love using the controller. Even if I had a PC, I would be using the controller. I would not be playing a game that I could not use a controller. More than likely. I would say 90% sure. Anyway, see, I'm showing you even like the dragon gauge. That's what it is. The gauges, the dragon gauge. Like, I'm on the dragoon. So that's what the word I was trying to think of earlier. For each individual class, you can go in and move the gauge, enlarge it, make it smaller, put it exactly where you want it on the screen. And when you have a summoner and you have a pet, then of course you can move the pet bar too. So that's what I meant by you can individually, each job or class, you can move those gauges to where you want them and make them the size that you would like. And I'm showing you here like the alliance party, a possible, rather than in your face, you can move it to the lower left. Here we're back in the system configuration, and when you are on the controller again, don't forget, just press options and it gets in there. Then you go, you can scroll either on the D-pad, left or right, or you can use R1, L1, and it'll go over, or you can toggle, I believe, also with your L3. So I'm showing you here, you can do it, but it's when you do it this way, you are doing the entire screen. Everything that shows on your screen is going to be like 140%, 100%, 50%. There's no individualizing, but if that's easier for you, then go for it. I did that initially because I was so worried I was going to screw something up, but as I played with it more and more, I realized, wait, there's a default. On every single thing that I'm doing, there's a default bar that you can hit and it will go back to default. And so, basically here also I'm showing you, be very, very careful about changing that, but you can always go back to default. All right, so let's recap. When you're on the controller, you hit the options bar, you go over to system configuration, character configuration, and HUD. And there are HUD settings in each one of those, depending on how lengthy you want to be or how detailed you want to be, dictates, which one you're going to do the most in. I hope you found this helpful. Please remember to smash that like button, ring the bell to be alerted for future videos, and hit that subscribe button if you're not already subscribed. Thank you so much for watching my video, and have a fabulous day.